I want to take one more shot at presenting this subject matter in a better fashion. You can watch the first two videos if you want. It's kind of an introduction. It's a sketch. Here I'm going to try to bring it all together in one video. And I would like to comment, if you guys want to comment. Let's do it on this video. I'd like you guys to convince me that the mainstream narrative, the story we're given about the World's Fair, is accurate, and that I should believe it, because I don't. Because you don't build stuff like this to throw it away after like a 6-month World Fair. This is San Francisco in 1893. Look at this building. Remember, 1893. There was no like Home Depot nearby where you could pick up your materials. There was no Ace is the place, the better hardware store. Where'd they get all this stuff to build it? How was it done? Where were the roads, the infrastructure to allow for this type of construction? I see them building things around my area where I live. I live in LA. It takes months and years, man, to throw up like boxy looking buildings, man. They built a railroad going from downtown LA to Santa Monica. It took forever for them to make that. Those are just 2 tracks on the ground for, a train to go back and forth. It's like nothing compared to this. So I don't know if I want to go over the whole thing again. I'll give a little introduction if someone's watching this video and not the other one. The story is that, again, let me focus on the one picture. This one. Looks like a colored photograph. Look at this glory. It's like utopia. This is San Francisco. And the story we're given is that, and there's a World's Fair in San Francisco at late 1800s, 1900s, turn of the century, where they displayed, they had exhibits for new energy sources, even cereal foods, chips, little things. I don't know. I didn't research it completely, but the story we're given is that these structures were built to host the World's Fair. People coming in from around the world to check it out, and then afterwards it was just torn down and replaced by like matchbox buildings, the type we have now. Nothing compared to all this. And if you just look around, like some of it's still left over, but they took down 99% of it. Here's one. To the columns, the arches, huge. So I don't think so, man. I think that this, and not me, I mean, I'm listening to other researchers, that what makes more sense is that there was a civilization that existed before us that we, the common people, don't know about, and we're not taught about it. It's kept from us for whatever reason. It's very mysterious, and that these buildings weren't built just for a World's Fair, that they were real cities that people lived in, and their memory has just been wiped away. The slate's been wiped clean, and we're given a history that's fake, man. It doesn't add up, because these buildings aren't throwaways, man. And there's always this theme, like there's a body of water in front of like the main building. Let me go to Chicago. Well, let me see if there's any more good ones here. Well, okay, like let's look at this one. Usually there's like a statue in front. Maybe if we had a view from further back, we'd see that statue facing the building. Look at this. This is America. This is not Europe. You can kind of see the statues right there. There's one of them crumbling. And then, it was wiped out for some reason. Let's see more. This one is St. Louis World's Fair. I mean, come on, man. Look at, there's like boats that can sail on this artificial pool. It's like not on the coastline, it's like in the city. It was made. The waterways are made. You can just sail right up to this structure here. It just was just for the little 6-month expo, and then they tore it down like a tent. Give me a break. I don't buy it. That story, something is fishy there. Look at this. I mean, look at this. This is America, guys. What? I've been in cities like this. I remember when I was a kid, we'd go to Croatia, Dubrovnik, Stari Grad. I wish I'd pull up those photos, but I remember like I was there like when I was a kid. I was like 10 years old, and I had a lot of fun there. But I remember thinking like these, and the whole city looks like this. You can look it up, Dubrovnik, Stari Grad. And I remember looking around. I had a lot of good friends there, and playing with the kids. We'd climb on those stairs and play games. Also, there's a nice ocean. You could jump and swim, climb the rocks and jump in the water. I remember thinking like these people don't match with this surrounding. I remember thinking that when I was like 10. I was like, I didn't think of much thought, but this architecture is amazing. The statues, the way it's built, and then the people are just kind of primitive, They're educated better than Americans, I must say, but there's a certain crudeness there that I didn't see reflected in the surrounding. It's almost like they were, I don't know how many centuries back, just kind of placed there to inhabit a building and city that already existed. That's what I'm trying to say. Same thing in America, though. I didn't know about this until recently. It's just blowing my mind. I mean, I heard of the World's Fair kind of. Look at this one in Chicago. It's probably the most impressive. This is where you can see clearly, like there's a statue that faces like a building that looks like the White House. This picture is a little foggy. Here's a better close-up of that building. It looks like the White House Capitol building. I mean, not the White House, Capitol building. This is gigantic, man. People are like ants. All these buildings. I know a little more about the one in Chicago. The story is that 200 buildings like this were constructed. I mean, I'm sure they're not. This is like the focal point. They weren't all like that, but hey, man, they weren't shabby. They weren't tents. It was 200. It doesn't say in the material I've read that the ones around the center were the most impressive and extravagant, and all the other ones were just like shacks or tents. No. I mean, you can look around. There's a lot of photos of the one in Chicago. It would be hard to do 20 buildings like that with no Home Depot around. Or 50, close to this. 100 is almost unimaginable for those people, for our people. Statue 2, that's a 60-foot statue. And I wish I'd pulled it up, but they tore all this stuff down. It's not there anymore. And then this statue exists, but it's where's my mouse? Oh man, it's like this big now. It's 25 feet, and this one, the original, was almost 70 feet, and it's just like a copy but smaller, and it's just sitting like in a park somewhere. This is all grass now. You can drive on it. There's a YouTube video. People drive down the road and they kind of videotape this statue from their from their cell phone camera. It's called the Statue of the Republic. All this stuff looks Christian to me too. Like maybe there was a Christian empire that did, kind of spread out across the whole earth, and then it's been wiped out and replaced with some parasitic power structure. Maybe that's what it means in the scripture when it says the devil will be let loose for some time. to wage war against the saints, and then he would prevail over the saints also, and then he would be finally defeated. Maybe we're in that time now, because man, I'd like to live here. And they had energy too. You could have the cell phones, laptops, and everything. There's photos of this place lit up at night. All the water's bouncing off the light is bouncing off the water. I might come across like this. You know, you wouldn't be missing nothing there. TV, big screen, cell phone, laptop, all that stuff, man. That's Tesla free energy. He was showcasing his work, supposedly, the AC current, alternating current. You know, it'd be nice, man, to live like that. Look at that building, man. Come on, man. They built that for one World's Fair and then tore it down. It was all torn down. But that's a story. I believe it was a city that was built, and not just in Chicago. It's like this stuff is all around the world. Stuff like this. This is another view. And it's been torn down, 99% of it. Some is left over. And a new system is in place. And we're getting scraps. I think these guys had it good. Although we're seeing photos probably from the transition, because those people look a little clueless to me. You know, I don't know the whole story, man. I don't know who, what, when, where, how, and why. I know the what is this. It doesn't add up. These buildings, this architecture, it doesn't match the story. This was the city where people lived, and the real story about how it got there and who we are and or who they were is just it's been erased, man. It wasn't a stupid World's Fair. That's baloney. This is how they lived in America. This is America, guys. Look it up yourself if you don't believe me. Look at this place, man. It looks like Rome. Dubrovnik looked like that too. Look at this one. Look how high up she is, looking down there. It's way up there, man. That is dope. I wouldn't mind living there. Look at this. Dope. All torn down. You just keep going. You guys can research for yourself. It blows my mind. Like I said, electricity, man. You're not missing nothing. There's that same statue. Statue of the Republic. And it's all been replaced with little matchbox houses that we have now. You can punch holes in the drywall. I can't. I don't know about you guys. I don't think you guys work out. Yeah, I threw this in too. I mean, this is worth a whole video, and I will do a whole video on this topic. But I threw it in anyway because I'm gonna touch. Well, you know, just to say, there's the Capitol building. Hello, is it Washington D.C.? Does that look familiar? Looks like the other stuff we've been looking at. But they didn't tear that one down. They are inhabiting the Capitol building. All Capitol buildings around the world, by the way, look like that. Even in China, India, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, Canada, South America, Argentina. This is all over the world. This is one world system. There's like different countries and that president, little tensions between. That's all baloney. There's one world system. They present to us a story that isn't true. Look at that. They all lie about space too. I mean, every country, even Mexico has a space program. Look it up. Look at this. Now let me tell you about this. Okay, we all know what this is in Washington D.C. Okay, this is Horus Dick. Not Horse Dick. Horus's. There's Isis, Horus, and Osiris. Horus, Osiris, Isis. Egyptian gods. There's no other way to interpret it. That's the phallic symbol in our nation's capital. And this here, I just found out recently, these circles, that's Isis pussy. So there's a dick going in a pussy in our nation's capital. Again, no other way to interpret that. and they knew what it was. I don't think they didn't know. It's done very precisely. These people don't share this knowledge with the rest of us. The group, whoever they are, I don't know who they are, you know. But and we're getting like the ultrasound view. You know, this is we're looking from the inside out. It's like in, you know. Yeah, man. I'll do a video on that, just on that topic. You guys can, but just from what I'm saying now, you guys can research that. Prove me wrong. Prove that it's not that. They say this was made in the memory of like the Washington Memorial. Yeah, right. What there reminds you of Washington? Give me a break. But you guys will believe it. You believe whatever Anderson Cooper tells you. I'm not talking to everyone, but you guys know who you guys are, the ones that I debate with on this channel. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And then this is set up the same way. It's kind of like there's a body of water. Let me see if I got it. There's a body of water in front of the Capitol building, and then like a statue in front. But in this case, they replaced the statue with that obelisk. It's on. There's a body of water in front of it. So now tell me, here's the Capitol building. Looks like what we've seen in San Francisco, St. Louis, and Chicago. And now doesn't it look a little top heavy? What do you guys think? Does it look a little bit like this? This is just kind of like, if you're an artist, you can see, you can just feel, it doesn't feel right. This is a little too big for this. Is kind of shallow. Think I'm crazy? Look at that. But doesn't that look better? This space here. I didn't research this photo much. It was on another video I was watching. I don't know when this was done. I don't know if this is Photoshop. You guys can look into it. It appears there's some excavation being done. This makes more sense. This height, they're using the divine proportion, the golden mean, golden section. You guys can research that too. It's a proportion found in nature that artists and architects know about, and they apply it in their work. It's like an equation, like 6 there's like the two numbers you put together. Oh man, forget it. I remember. But the how long it is from here to here will be in proportion to from here to here. Like this part will be shorter in the same proportion that it is to this in all things you see in nature. It's like even in the human body, like the sections between your finger are like divided according to that proportion. It's the divine proportion. But this feels right when you look at it like that. This is the proper height for that building. You know, I mean, I'm adding that. That's like an extra. I can make a whole video of that. Look again. Now look at it. Look, it looks like it's been buried. And then what the researchers cover when you research this stuff, there's Tartaria, mud flood, history reset. That's what you can look at, and you see they go more in depth about this stuff, but no one really gives you a clear answer. Like what's the final page? You never get it, but it's a mystery. But now looking at that other photo, you can see I never look at this building the same again. It looks like it's sunk into the ground, or like the ground kind of covered up a big portion of it, because it sure looks better like this. This feels right. And then if this is how it was, probably that water was here in front and then a statue there, but the parasites took over. You know, what's last? Oh, this was the St. Louis World Expo. So again, you know, more. Look at this building, man. I think this is where I started, actually. You know, so I want to hear what you guys think, man. I don't buy the official narrative. Also, this building in San Francisco. Come on, man. Look at that thing. San Francisco, like 1894. See the year. Free energy antennas in San Francisco. See, this is from a type of channel I like to watch. They're saying these were like Tesla towers. Even the Eiffel Tower probably was a Tesla free energy tower. before they give us the fake story about it. Because, I mean, what else is it? I might be wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100% right. But I'm saying it's a mystery, and I don't buy the official story. So I want to hear what you guys think.